Hi friends, welcome back. Today is March 2nd and we are looking for the elusive morel here in the suburbs of Fairfax, Virginia with Luna. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is a brand new park that we haven't explored just yet, so we want to see if we can find some morels. Actually, I have found some about 2 to 3 miles away from here, so I know that they are in the area. I am pretty lucky at finding morel mushrooms here in Fairfax or in Virginia in general by looking at tulip poplar trees. If you see a lot of tulip poplar trees, there will be some morels to be found there. So here's how you find a tulip poplar tree. This time of year is easy to tell because they are starting to leaf out. Do you see that tree in the background there? You see that light green? That light green is a tulip poplar tree. And if you start looking at the forest, you'll see a lot of that green all around. So that means that that is a tulip poplar stand. And I know for a fact, I have found morels out in that area before. So I have found morel mushrooms on that area over there. It's about 2 to 3 miles that way, and I have found some in that part of the forest. But today I want to explore this part of the forest because there's a creek running through here and there's a lot of tulip poplars. You see all those little single looking trees like that, and they're straight going up. That is a tulip poplar. And where there is tulip poplar stands, which means there's a ton of tulip poplars, I know for a fact that I'm gonna find a morel mushroom. And I'm not sure if we're gonna find any today specifically because the season is just starting here. Just 2 days ago, I found one baby morel and it was pretty tiny. I will have to keep coming back here every so often to check on the spot and see if we can find some. Hey, what are you doing back there? So here's my assistant today. We'll hopefully not get too muddy and see if we can find some morels. So this area here has a lot of conifer trees. I'm not sure what kind of trees these are, but there's some sort of pine tree of sorts. Morels do not grow in that area, so I wouldn't waste my time going over there. I want to check down here where you can see all of these trees that go up and they don't really have any side branches. Here's what a tulip poplar looks like up and personal. It has a lot of grooves and it's straight. Usually does not have any limbs until it gets all the way to the top. And here's an example of the bark. Looks groovy like that. And you can see all of these right here are tulip poplars. So this area right here is where I would look for morel mushrooms. Once you have identified a spot like the one I just showed you, get down into that spot, get on your knees and get ground level and start looking for anything looking up and anything poking above the leaf litter. So I'm right here at the soil level right now and I am scanning about 4 to 5 feet away from me, and then I do a circle just like this. Then you want to move another 5 feet away, get back down and look again. They don't typically grow at the base of the tree, they kind of grow at the root area of the tree, so check out those areas. Our assistant over there keeps tripping on trees and stuff. One thing I need to mention is that the tulip poplars that I'm looking at, they're all alive, they're not dead. Usually I find morels growing at the bases or around the drip line of a live tree. I don't typically find them under dead trees. I have heard that morels like to grow around ash trees and elm trees as well. And they also like to grow in apple orchards. But in my area, there is no ash trees, or not that many, and there's no orchards that I can access. So whenever I see a tulip poplar stand, that's where I'm looking. But sometimes I do see a dead tree like this one. And this tree right here, based on the pattern of the bark, I think it was an oak tree. And usually I find some morels growing at the base of dead oak trees. So let's go check that area. So here is a dead oak tree, I believe, and I can see there's a lot of action around here. Check out these beautiful May apples that are coming up over here. If you see May apples, that tells you that it is a mature forest that hasn't been disturbed in a while, and that is a good sign. Usually you'll see morels growing where you can find this May apples. So far we haven't seen any morels yet, but it might be too early. So don't get discouraged, keep coming back to the spots and look for them. Check out how many May apples there is here. This thing is loaded. They're so beautiful. And when they are mature, they have a little fork here and they produce a little fruit that is edible. If you are lucky, you can get them before all the other animals and you can eat it. But the plant itself is poisonous and the fruit is poisonous until it is ripe. So proceed with caution when harvesting a May apple because they can be poisonous. So make sure you do your research. Here we go again with the helper who became hungry in our trip. Hey, what do you think about that water? And this right here is not an edible mushroom, but it is a great sign that you are in the right track. If you see other mushrooms growing, that means that the conditions are right for morel mushrooms to grow as well. Check out this beautiful mushroom growing over here. It almost looks like a deer mushroom, but it's too small to be a deer mushroom and not the right time of year. This little mushroom right here is what we called a LBM. Little brown mushrooms. There's tons of them in the forest and hard to identify a lot of them. So I don't really spend a lot of time trying to identify the little guys. I just focus on picking choice edible mushrooms, and any mushroom that is not a choice, I do not pick it. I even leave the pheasants back. I leave all the wood ears. I don't like the way they taste. And I don't mess around with anything that has a look-alike that is deadly. For example, I do not pick anything that looks like a little umbrella that is white because there's a deadly mushroom that is called a destroying angel, and that one will kill you. So I don't pick any of the mushrooms that are umbrella looking. I'll put a little picture in here so you can see those. I don't mess around with those. I mean, I could find choice edible ones that look like that, but I just don't mess with them. So Luna and I did not find any morels in our hunt today, but that does not mean that they are not here. They're probably here, but they're probably very small. She said, see ya. However, Luna and I had a great time looking at all the plants in the forest floor. We found trout lilies, we saw skunk cabbage, we saw May apples. So get outside, look at the ground, get familiar with the plants around you, and then you will surely find some morel mushrooms later on this season. It is just starting right now, so start getting familiar with the forest floor and all the forest around you. And make sure that you harvest sustainably. If you see one or two, maybe let them be for a little bit and come back until you see 10 or so, and then start harvesting some of them. Right now I'm mesmerized at this field of trout lilies. You see all that green over there? That is all trout lilies, and they are about to be in full bloom. So I'll be back here in a few days and looking at these flowers. It's going to be a sea of yellow flowers, and it will be so beautiful. I have other videos on my YouTube channel on how to forage for mushrooms all around Northern Virginia. So if you want to check that out, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. Garden Forage is the YouTube channel name. Can you say see you later, people? See you. See you. Bye-bye. See you. See you later. Till next time. Like and subscribe.